Judith, your book is not only an examination of the history of the Sabbath, but it's also an exploration of all these ideas about the Sabbath. And one of those ideas is the notion that there's something ethical about the Sabbath, or as you mentioned before, the social morality of time. Parse that out a little bit for us. What is the social morality of time, and how does it obtain to the Sabbath?
Well, so one of my theses is that the Sabbath is not just a religious institution or a religious idea. It's a political idea. It's the idea that we're entitled not to work, but more importantly, that we're entitled to structure time in such a way as to benefit us. And I don't think people think about that. I don't think people think about structuring space in an equitable way, but I don't think they think about structuring time. And yet, as a society, we make social, collective choices about how to organize our time. And the Sabbath is sort of the primary example. Up until, 50 years ago, there were all these rules in America about what you could and could not do on Sunday. And these were not just, as they are often understood today, just sort of crass intrusions of the religious sensibility on your personal time. These were ideas about how society should be organized. There's a great opinion that was issued by Supreme Court Justice Felix Frankfurter in 1963, when there was a case in which the Supreme Court decided to uphold Sunday closing laws, or blue laws, in which he argued that this was a cultural asset of supreme importance, Sunday laws. This idea of a time when people could relax in an atmosphere of repose, when the streets were not loud, when everybody wasn't rushing about doing their business, and that there's something very valuable about that, something a society needs to stay healthy. And for that reason, he deemed that cultural asset to be of greater importance than, say, the religious liberty of Seventh-day Adventists or Orthodox Jews, which is a shocking thing for a Jew to be saying in 1963. I happen to agree with him, actually. I think that society has the right to mandate a pause in its time, and that it is not simply a violation of the boundary between church and state.